Guys, want to give you a little update on the Camaro. Got all these parts in the mail the other day. Last thing I got was the brakes and the calipers. But anyways, only bought the stuff through two different companies. You see all the stuff in red and the coilover setup. That's from BMR Racing. That's probably the best stuff I can find for this type of conversion. There's a few companies out there that do them. BMR is a little more expensive, but I think it's a higher quality product. Then you got these rotors right here and the calipers. There's other associated little bits of hardware in these boxes down here, but this is just the main stuff for the brakes. But the kit comes with everything you need. So Carlisle Racing, I think you can get these at IPS Motorsports as well. And then all the rest of the stuff that you see in red and the coilover setup, that's from BMR Racing. So I'm going to go over the parts just as an overview right now, and then I'll bring them up close one by one and talk about them in a little more detail. But right here what you have is the lower control arms. And then you have the mounting, the upper mounts for where the coilover setup goes. And then you have the extreme anti-roll bar here. There's a few that they offer. This is the best one. As far as drag racing is concerned, this wouldn't be very good if you're road course racing. And then you have the calipers here. The calipers. You got the rotors. These came disassembled, but I mean, I just put the springs on there and got it all set up. These are strange engineering. And then we have the trailing arms right here. So let me bring you a close-up of these trailing arms. I'll go over some bullet points I have written down here. So, like I said, these are from BMR Racing. Now, all these red products you see, they come in black hammer tone as well. I went ahead and picked red just because I think it look nice under the car. What limited stuff you're going to be able to see anyways. I think from the back you might be able to see these lower control arms. But that's probably about it, unless you're actually getting down and looking under the car. But once again, these trailing arms right here, this is needed for the 15-inch conversion, but the stock ones are just crappy. They got rubber bushings, and that's just notorious for wheel hop. Just the whole setup the way they are. They're formed sheet metal on the original ones. Obviously, this is a superior product. You can see it's a lot more rigid than the original crap you got on there, especially with this replacing the stock rubber bushings. So, give you a better look at it here. As you can see, it's adjustable. All right, go ahead and show you the next thing. Here is the lower control arms. Nice product here. So these work there by actually relocating the shock mounting hole upwards, and it narrows the control arm. Just because on the stock ones, they're stamped steel as well, but the barrel of the wheel, if you can picture the wheel, there's actually the barrel of the wheel, and on the stock lower control arm intersects like right here. So you just can't, physically put the wheel on the car. Matter of fact, they sell these so you can just put the lower control arms on there and not have to have all this extra stuff and fit a 17-inch wheel on there, but I really wanted to go with the 15 if I'm going to go through all this work, just because they don't really make that wide a variety of tires on the 17, but just 15s look better in my opinion. So some more details about these lower control arms. They provide the proper clearance to run that 15-inch wheel. Like I was saying, I'm putting weld wheels on there. They got Delrin mounting bushings for minimal deflection and bind-free movement. So they're heavy-duty double shear sway bar mounts that are on here, and they're actually not compatible with the stock sway bar. So you're going to need to get the aftermarket links welded on there, or use the extreme anti-roll bar from BMR. So I went ahead and went with the extreme anti-roll bar just because it's a better quality product anyways. But there's a better look at those. See, this is for greasing it. Nice piece here. Let me give you a close-up look of the coilover setup here. These are some strange engineering. It's a hyperco coil. They're double adjustable, but there are 500-pound springs in here, so this is all drag stuff. This isn't for road course racing or anything. You can see the adjustability here and here. But as you know, with the coilover, you can raise and lower the car just by jacking the wheel up off the ground and turning this, so that makes it nice as well too. But they're 500-pound springs, like I was mentioning, just because that's what's needed with the weight of the car, for a drag setup. So this is going to help load the tires up better on launch and everything like that, and just get the proper look with the car too, with the adjustability of the height that I wanted. But you're going to need these if you're running those lower control arms. The stock stuff just will not work because it's relocated. It just physically just won't work, won't bolt up. Matter of fact, speaking of bolting it up, this is the these are what you're going to need to actually mount the coilovers on. This is the upper mount, sits up like this, but this converts the rear upper shock mount to a coilover mount. It's designed to work with those double adjustable coilovers, but it actually will work with any coilover that's got a 1-inch wide bushing and a 1/2-inch bolt hole. So pretty simple right here. I should be going over the price of all these things too, because you can buy them individually from BMR. I went ahead and bought the whole package. The whole package includes everything that you see here, except for these brakes, the brake setup right here, and the extreme anti-roll bar. But all the rest of the stuff is included, and the package itself is $1,369. So altogether, if you get the package, it's going to save you $50. But so the package comes with the coilovers, the coilover mounts, the trailing arms, the lower control arms, and all the other little associated nuts and bolts hardware to go ahead and assemble it. Let's go ahead and show you this extreme anti-roll bar. This is a really nice piece. Definitely a lot better than the factory junk. Not that the factory junk, but it's junk compared to this. Be nice to look at it. Now this is hollow, but it's, as you can see, the material is very thick, so it's going to give you that nice rigid bar with minimal weight. But these are the 3 holes right here for the adjustability. So this piece alone is $379, $379.95 to be exact. But this is it's designed actually to eliminate body roll. That's what the stock one's for, but this is actually obviously going to eliminate it much more. But that way you can put the power to the wheels. But it's large and adjustable. It's got the 3 mounting positions, giving you anywhere from 432% to 780% increase in rate over the stock bar. So obviously that's quite a big difference. This isn't something you're going to want to put on like a road course racing car. Like I said, this is more of a drag setup and a street setup, but it is adjustable, so you can have it, a lot stiffer than the stock one and still drive it on the street, depending on where you bolt it up. But it's not, too harsh if you're going to do it every day. But it's designed to eliminate body roll, so you can leave the starting lane harder, getting those tires a plant, giving you maximum traction, and they're just consistent launches. That's what all this stuff is about too. It's not only just to put the 15s on the car, but also to give you more consistency when launching, and hopefully drop your 60-foot time down a little bit too. So I mean, it's definitely an upgrade to say the least. I mean, the stock stuff with all the stamped steel and the rubber bushings and things like that you get on the stock stuff, I mean, you really can't get that consistency of the launches all the time. And if you're running a automatic transmission with a let's say a trans brake or something, and you're really serious about it, you can have everything set up off the line the same, heat the tires the same every time, but your launch is never going to be consistent, just because there's so much play in the stock stuff with the stamped steel and just the way it's designed with the rubber bushings, that it's never going to be 100% the same every time. This will get you closer to that consistent launch all the time, and hopefully drop your 60-foot time. Now let's go over these right here. These are the trailing arms. You can see they are adjustable right here. It's a very nice piece, so give you a nice little look at that. So the stock trailing arms are just notorious for wheel hop. Matter of fact, I mean, you can look on the forums that there's been several cases where they're just, because there's so much flex in these, that they've actually been instances where it's actually destroyed the rear ends on these 5th gen Camaros, just because the wheel hop is so bad. And the wheel hop's never good. It slows you down. It's just horrible. But matter of fact, the stock setup's rubber bushings right here. So you can see this is obviously the superior setup. So the stock ones are formed sheet metal. But you will need these if you're running the 15s. Let's see, I think I went over everything here. So let me give you a close-up of the rotor here. Here it is. like I said, these are from Mark Carlisle Racing. You can get them from IPS Motorsports as well. But you know, I talked to Mark on the phone, and he actually got this kit developed with him from SSBC, Stainless Steel Brake Company. So it's a nice setup. I went with this instead of the BMR setup with the Willwood brakes, because I mean that setup was just, you know, I mean it was really expensive. Just definitely, in my opinion, not worth the money. I mean, yeah, it's a little lighter, but you know, this is a little more practical. I mean, practical as far as I didn't have to spend a small fortune to get the brakes set up from BMR, but also more practical because, you know, that setup actually doesn't come with a parking brake, and I'd kind of like to retain the parking brake on the car. So that's a nice feature. That way, you know, it passes emissions, and it's obviously nice to have a parking brake on a street car. Let me give you a close-up look at the calipers here. Like I said, SSBC, so the insignia is on there, etched in there. See, it comes with the brake pads, all the hardware. These are actually pretty easy to install. It says on the website you can put them on in about 15 minutes, but these are 4-piston calipers, just direct bolt on. You don't need to cut, don't need to weld anything, no grinding necessary. Keep the factory parking brake, like I said. Use a stock spindle, so that's another thing with the Willwood setup that you buy through BMR is the, you know, these are Willwoods right here, for example. This is for a different car, this is for a Mustang, but you know, you need a different spindle, and so I can't remember what the price was on the spindles on BMR's website, but it's just an unnecessary cost for me. And you know, I don't know how much the weight saving actually is, but I don't think it's worth the money for the point I'm at right now. I mean, eventually I'd like to get this, you know, to be like a 9-second car down the road. Obviously, I don't have the funds right now to be able to just instantly make it a 9-second, but I guess, you know, not many people do, right? So just little baby steps, I guess you could say. If you ever need a better job, maybe win the lottery, who knows, right? But right now we're just gonna have to, you know, save a little bit every paycheck and get this stuff. So it's taken a long time to get all these parts, but you know, I got them now. So I'd say half the battle's over, but it's actually more than half the battle because this stuff obviously, well, like I said, I'm in this total right now, $2,449. And that's without shipping or tax, just for this stuff right here. There's other things that I haven't bought yet that I'm going to need. I'm going to need some synthetic grease for all this stuff to go ahead and lube them up, and you know, that's about it. Otherwise, I have everything I need. But so, like I said, it's actually more than half the battle because, you know, basically $2,500 is what you're looking at here. Now, the wheels and tires, I think the wheels for the 15 and the Weld RTSS 71 wheel, I think they were $340 a piece from Summit. So, you know, that's $680 there for the wheels. And the tires, God, I can't remember the tires, how much they were. But I'm wanting to run the, they have a new Mickey Thompson Pro radial. Come on over here and let me show you. These are the old design of the radials. So these are the ET Streets. You can see here. They're a little worn, but now you can see these are the ET Streets. They have the ET Street Pro. These aren't for the Camaro. This was for my Turbo Mustang. But these are the ET Streets, and the ET Street Pro is a new design. It's even stickier than this tire. It says it's a DOT legal tire, but it doesn't have any grooves on it, basically. I mean, there's a few little lines every once in a while. Basically a tread depth gauge like you see here. It's amazing. I mean, if you actually take a look at the tire on these new ones, it's amazing that they're even street legal. They got a DOT approved rating on them. But the funny thing is, right on the tire, it says not for highway use. So, but you know, I want to give them a go. I don't really have much miles on the car. It's got 24,000 miles on it right now, and I hardly ever drive it. I mean, we take it out with the family and stuff when we want to, you know, go around and go somewhere nice. My daily driver is a Honda Accord. That's just some beater, so drive that back and forth to work, and I got a bullet bike that I ride when the weather's good, back and forth. But while we're at it, let me just go ahead and show you what the whole plan is for the car. Now, this is a killer trans right here. This is what I'm planning on putting in the car. This is from Transmission Specialties. I mean, it's a pretty beefy trans. I mean, look at that bell housing right there. I mean, this is some nice stuff. But I got this from Transmission Specialties. This originally was going in, not this turbo Mustang, but another one that's parked outside. So problem I had was the trans. I had bad luck with trans. You want to follow me around here, especially on the turbo Mustang. I mean, I'm just like way hard on them, but I mean, I power shift it. I don't lift off the gas at all when I shift it when I'm racing it. But here's the broken one right here. This is off of a Mustang. And there's a couple other broken ones right here. There's one, and there's one in the back there. So, I mean, you got 3 broken transes here just from the Mustang. And those transmissions are, to be honest with you, weaker than hell, those stock T5s. But when you're running boost through one of those, I mean, they break pretty easy. But I'm at the same point with the Camaro now, unfortunately. It's not as serious, but, you know, doing a hard launch and a bang in the second, it took out the second gear synchro. And just reading about those synchros on the stock ones, they're basically like a fiberglass / mesh synchro, and they just wear out pretty easy. And if you look on the forums, you'll see plenty instances of those stock ones wearing out. But so the second gear synchro's out. I'm looking to rebuilding one of those. It's a TR6060 trans, which is a tough trans, but just to get into it, get it rebuilt and stuff, it was just, you know, I figured I want to put the Turbo 400 in here. The Turbo 400, this has a manual valve body, a reverse manual valve body, and a trans brake. You can see the solenoid right here. This is a pretty decent sized solenoid for the trans brake. So, and I don't know if a lot of you guys know the advantage of running a trans brake, but it's pretty important. I mean, if you're really into drag racing, that's going to let you launch off the line at, you know, whatever you set it at. Like my stall for the torque converter right here. This torque converter is from Transmission Specialties, but it's supposed to be a 5,200 RPM stall, and that was for my Mustang, but it's a Mustang with the Chevy engine going into it. This engine right here, matter of fact. But it made more power than my Camaro does. My Camaro made 457, and the Turbo Mustang makes significantly more horsepower. So with a little bit less horsepower, this will probably stall somewhere between 4,600 RPM and 4,800 RPM, which seems high, it really is, but these converters are pretty tight from Transmission Specialties, so you can kind of get away with it on the street. Need to get a transmission cooler for the car is the only other thing. A dipstick for the trans, a drive shaft, and a shifter. Bad thing about the converter, and this is a badass converter, I'm no joke. This is, you know, built, I can't remember what they call it, XFI or XD converter. For drag racing, but it's actually a spragless design, so that would definitely overheat on the street. You couldn't run it like far at all. So I'll need to send the converter in, have them cut it open, and then put sprags in it. That's going to cost me $400. So, anyways, there's the update. Go look at all these parts one more time for you. And my Charlie dog. Nice little close-up of them. It's a damn shame these parts are so pretty and they're going to be stuck under the car. That's okay though. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, guys. Just wanted to give you a little update. I didn't really see anything online for as far as videos of the parts, so I wanted to throw that out there for anybody who's interested in doing the conversion. Thanks, guys.